And it probably will ask you to say that that's okay. All right, we'll begin class with our salute, fist, cover, thumb in. Welcome, everybody. Welcome to our class today. All right, well, today we will follow the pattern that we've done for many of our classes. We'll warm up a little bit. We'll do some review of some concepts that we need. We'll be reviewing last week's move, which is press, and going on to a new move this week. And this week's move is the final move in Grasp the Bird's Tail. So if you remember when you started, we talked about there being a very important series of moves in the beginning called Grasp the Bird's Tail. And here we are going to be at the final one this week. So let's go ahead and start with our warm up. I'm going to stand with my feet shoulder distance apart, my toes forward. To warm up, we warm up our joints and also pay attention to our body parts so that we can call upon them when we do our Tai Chi. So let's start with our head. We're looking forward. Our head is lifted. And we're going to warm up our neck by keeping the rest of our body steady, still, but moving our head to the right. And this just helps our neck get moving, and we move center. And we move the other way. Now, if you're going in the same direction as me, this is the right. And then as you come across, make sure you're looking out across the horizon. Look out across the horizon. That's our gaze. And then come back to center. So that gaze is part of the move. It's not the very first thing we pay attention to, but it is part of the move. Okay. So our shoulders. Our shoulders in Tai Chi, we like them to be down. We're going to warm up our shoulder joints. We lift them up, roll back the shoulders, and then bring them down. Again, lift them up, roll them back, and come down. Now we'll go the other direction. Lift them up, roll forward and down, up, forward, and down. So you're going to hear me when I talk about body shape, say shoulders down. So one of the ways to start paying attention and knowing if your body is doing that is when you warm up, when you lift them up, you go, oh, here I am lifting it up. I don't want to lift my shoulders. I want them down, down, back and down. That makes our shoulder blades really sink down a little bit. All right. We have our elbows in Tai Chi, our elbow joints. And what we're going to do is we're going to look at our palms. Our palms are towards us. And I'm just going to move my palms out along with my elbow. My upper arms don't change. And then I come in, bending the elbow. And now I extend by moving them, and then the elbow bends, it straightens my arm, and I come in. We're just doing a very small version of warming up our elbows here and paying attention to them because we will have to do that in our Tai Chi. All right. Next to our wrists, we've got our hands. I'm going to come forward. I'm going to point my wrists down just a little bit. I'm not pushing them back. I'm just letting them curve down. And I'm going to circle with the wrists. And I keep my fingers extended. So now my palms come towards me. I see my palms, and now my palms go out. And now they come down. I see them. They come up. Now my palms go out, and I see the back of my hand. All right, let's go the other direction. Out. I see the back of my hand. Now I see my palms. We're just letting our wrists move. And if you remember, when we talk about our arms and hands, we're talking about a nice curve and that we have our wrist seated. And one of the ways we have a seated wrist is where we have a bend and the fingertips lift. So there's a bend. So that is my seated wrist. Notice that we don't like to overextend. We don't like to do that. It's just a gentle bend and the fingers go up. That's a seating. I'll do it on the other side. Let's get our other side going. This is a seated wrist. So that's our wrist joint, all right? We're going to come to our waist, but first we're going to go to our hips because we're going to come back and do a little more with our waist. So let's go into our hips. We're going to circle our hips. I'm going to move my hips to the right, Then I'm going to go back to the left and forward. This is just to warm up these hips and forward. Now I'm going to go to the left. And then I come back to center. And when I'm in the center, the middle of my body is in between my feet. I'm not tilted this way and I'm not tilted this way. I'm right in the middle there. All right. Last week I showed you where we could put our feet together, a little tiny bend, and we could circle, and this makes our ankles roll and our knees roll. Very little circles, very gentle, and then other direction. And we're not deep. We're not bending deep. In fact, you barely need to be bent at all if that is more comfortable. But notice how your ankles move too, because our ankles, our knees, and our hips all are connected. All right. Let's go a little bit more to the ankle. Stand on your left foot, point the right foot. You can put the toe on the floor if you'd like, and then put the heel on the floor. That makes it flex. Point it, and then you pull the toe up, and that's flex. And one more, point and flex. Now we're going to shift our weight, put it on the right. We're going to point our toe, put the toe up, heel down, point and heel, and point and heel. Because our ankles hold us up and we want them to be able to move. All right, let's talk more about that middle body. Remember, we have the lower body from hips all the way down, and we have our upper torso to our shoulders, and then we have our head. But we have the middle body, and we want this middle body to be nice and flexible. And it relates to that word waist, talking about the point in our lower back that we could twist around, twisting around our spine. So I'm going to first put my feet just again, shoulder width, and I'm going to keep my hips and knees stable, and I'm going to let my upper body twist, just letting my arms flow with it. You don't have to do anything in particular with your arms, but you're letting your body turn whatever you can do, and you will see your shoulders turn. And that's how you're going to know that you're moving that middle body. You might feel it as well. Middle body moving. All right. So that's that middle body. We want it to be flexible. Many of us, myself included, start Tai Chi with a lot of stiffness in the middle body. I'm still stiff relative to some people who are more flexible. But as you go along, you will get more flexible. There is no need to push it more than what you can do, because if you do, what will probably happen is you'll start to twist the lower body to get farther with the waist, and you don't really want that lower body to twist. It could hurt, and it's not the position we want. All right. So now what we're going to do for our middle body warm up is we're going to do it in a bow step. So let's start with a bow step with your right foot forward, and I will mirror you on this. So I'm going to put my right foot forward straight, and my back foot is at 45 degrees, and I have space in between. All right. This is the bow step. We've been doing it for several weeks now. And so it should start to feel a little bit more familiar. You have 60% forward, and you have 40% in the back foot, and your feet are on the ground. In fact, your bubbling wells, that part behind the ball of the foot, that round part, is on the floor. So you're in your bow step. I'm forward. First, we're just going to shift a little bit just to feel our bow step. So my hips are open to this left side. I'm going to shift. I'm going to push from the front leg into the back, and my waist turns a little forward. I just realized I do not have my armbands on. So before we start practicing the form, I'll get them on. Okay, just forgot. Now, back leg, push to the forward leg. Okay, and push the forward leg into the back leg. Here's your shift. And now come back into the forward leg. Now I can keep in this position and move my middle body. So again, you'll see my shoulders first. I'm going to turn to the right. Okay, I'm going to turn my upper body to the right, and I'll come back to the center. See my shoulders go? I'm going to turn my upper body to the left, and then I come back to center. And I can dangle my arms. I'm not going fast, so they're not going to do too much. I turn and my arms just follow along, and then I come center. And I turn and I come back, and my lower body is not doing anything, right? One more time. Turn right and center and left and center. All right. Okay, bring this foot back. Now take your right foot and put that at 45 degrees. Put your weight on your right. Take your left foot forward, the heel, and then move forward into that bow step. All right. So I've got 60% forward and I've got 40% in the back. I'm going to do the same thing. Right now, I've got my torso a little open to the corner, but I'm going to turn to the left with my torso. That's my waist turn. And then I come back and now I turn to the right. Here's that turn and come center and left. Center. Whatever you can do, keep that lower body nice and stable. All right, very good. Okay, so if you're thinking of what we have been doing for the past couple weeks, you realize we've been doing these moves where we are turning our body while we're in a bow step. And so that was just to warm us up for that. Okay, all right, so last week we did the move press. What we'll do right now is let's go through everything we've done just to do Tai Chi together from the beginning, and follow along. If you weren't here last week, don't worry. We're going to review that move completely. But I just like you to get a little Tai Chi at the beginning of moving together as a group. So I will face 12 o'clock so that we're all going in the same direction. I'll call out the name of the move and I'll call out instructions. So if you're still obviously learning the sequence, you'll be able to follow along. All right. So I'm at 12 o'clock, so you'll see my back. My feet are shoulder width. And I'm going to review my body. My head is lifted. The rest of my body is suspended down so that my head's lifting, kind of pushing up as if there's a book here I'm holding, but the rest of the body hangs down. My arms are at my side and the middle finger sort of pointing downward against the seam of my pants. I have space under my armpits. I'm not collapsed. Space under my armpits. My body is up, but my knees just have a natural bend in them, never locked. My hips are down, and as much as I can, pointing downward, I just like to let this lower back feel as relaxed as I can. And this is prepare. So when we're in this position, we should be able to breathe naturally, but our body is engaged. It's energized for Tai Chi. So here's the beginning. We're going to start with opening. Rotate arms and lift them up. They're coming up to shoulder level. Palms are down. And now you're coming down, first the elbows, forearm, as if pressing through water. And when you get almost to the bottom, your fingertips are forward. Left ward off. Shift a little bit left, open your toe and your body to your 130 corner. Move your weight onto your right leg, lift the left heel, bend your knees. Right arm comes up, left in circle, step out with the heel as you close. Turn arm to 3 o'clock, lifting up. Right arm pushing down. Right ward off. Shift, turn, 45 degrees, arm comes across. Shift to the left, grab with the right, point fingers down. Grab with the left, point right. Close step, move forward into right ward off. Roll back. Now this is your body turn waist. Turning at the waist, rotate your arms, upper arm palm out to the corner. And now shift back and weight, come across with your arms to the 130 corner. Press. Circle the right arm in, turn the left over, left palm on right forearm. Push with the legs forward into your bow step as arms expand out. All right. That's our beginning. Now, after I said I was going to decorate myself, I forgot, but here I go. I'm going to put my armbands on. Alan, would you come help me? I need you just to help me get these on. So this is the Velcro. And here we go. So you close this and put that over it. Yeah, and tighten it up. Let's see if we can get it tight. There's one. Here's another. Here's the Velcro. Put it up here. Close that one first. That one first. Yeah. Okay. And I think I can get this one, and we'll see if that's enough. All right, we're going to do one more if we can get it. Let's see if we can get one right here. Let's see, this is the Velcro. Put that one down first and put this one over. Okay, can you do it? Sorry, guys, I really meant to do this first. Okay, thank you. Thanks. All right, this is not correct, so we'll just leave this one. Okay. All right, now I've got a right arm and a right leg. All right. So what we're going to do is we're going to review press. We're going to review the move from last week. Now, just to remind you, when we talked about these different moves, we talked about the rollback energy and we talked about the ward off, the different arm techniques that reflect energy to our opponent. The press energy is squeeze. It's something compressed that will expand out. Now you can compress something inward. You could have something out and squeeze it in, but this move, we've got energy that we're going to be compressed close to our body, and then it'll be squeezing out forward. It'll be expanding. So that's our press. And you've got someone close to you and you want to create more space. You want to get them away from you. Okay. Now, press in this case is pressing forward, but you could be in an area where there are people all around you and you want to get them away from you, and you could have press energy just to get them out there to move them away from you. It's the idea is that it's something compressed to get someone away. So let's go ahead. Now the footwork is, there's very little that's different, but we'll review it. Now I'm not going to mirror you here. So I am going to have my right foot forward. This is my right foot that's got the band on it, and I'm in a bow step. The leg work for this move is just the shifting back and forth. So again, my body, my hips are open, and I have the weight forward 60%. I'm going to push with the bubbling well back into that back foot so that I'm back. I start here. I'm sorry. We start here from roll back. So if you got here, you're at roll back. Your knee is over your foot. To get into press, we just go the other direction. Ready? We push from the back leg into the front. So from roll back to push is just this back and forth. All right. Roll back to press. All right. Okay. So we're going to spend our time reviewing the arms and then putting them together. So when we've done rollback, our arms, we've done rollback from right ward off. Remember, we turn and then we come back, and your arms are, the right palm is down, the left hand is, palm is up, it's mid forearm pointing, and your arms at the corner. And well, you're back, but we're just going to talk about the arms. The right arm for press is going to circle in towards you, and the palm comes up, and then it will go out. Okay. Last week when we talked about it, we broke it up to where we came the arm in, and then we talked separately about going out. But it's really one circle. Arm is to the corner. See your palm come towards you, and then come out. Come out, and your hand is angled because it's a ward off. It's a little bit like a frisbee. Circle, throw. Okay, because in Tai Chi we have all these circles, so we're always looking for circles. So let's. I'm going to just shift back a little because that's where I know I am. My arm is at the corner. Bring it in, and then come forward with it. Again, palm out. Bring it in and forward. Okay. The left hand is at rollback, you see your palm. So my two arms are here. This left hand is going to turn over. It's also going to rotate the whole forearm, not just the wrist. Whole forearm is going to rotate because it's got to come onto the middle of my forearm, and I use my full palm, and it is angled. See how it's a little bit angled there? Angled. That's what you want. It's going to come on there. So if this hand, if I'm like this right hand comes circling in close, palm on, then it's going to, the palm's going to help push it forward. That's the expanding part. The palm helps you get it out there. All right. So let's take our two arms. My right hand, in fact, maybe I'll stand like this, maybe you'll see it better, is pointing out. See my left hand. I rotate, bring that right hand in, palm on, and forward with it. All right. That's the arm movement. The coordination's what's important with the arms and legs. So let's go ahead, and to get you into the rollback position, let's do rollback with it. Here's our, we're going to do from right ward off. Right foot forward, left foot back. This is the bow step, the right bow step that we use in all of these. All right. Hips are open. My arm circles in front, and my left fingertips point to middle forearm down below that arm. Roll back. We turn and rotate, and our palm goes out to the corner in the right hand. Now, as I shift back, I come across, and I'm at the corner now with my hand. Here's press. Rotate the right hand, circling in towards your body. Turn left, palm on. Now, with your legs, push and press out with your arms. And when you finish, your elbow and knee are in line with each other. All right, let's do it again. See if you can get yourself into roll back here. Now, you're shifted your weight back. Your right hand palm out to the corner. Left hand palm is up. Press. Bring that right arm in, left palm on the inside, press forward, expanding out. All right. Now let's talk about, yes, question? Was there a question? Oh, maybe not. Okay, well, I'm asking for questions if there are, but be sure to unmute if you have a question. All right. Let's just talk a little bit more about our body orientation and our body shape. So I'm here in my rollback position. When so everything's to the corner here. When I circle in and put my palm on, I want this palm to be coming straight out. So when I come forward, I come forward with my palms I'm looking straight ahead, my palm's right there with me, and my body is still a little open. All right, let's do it again from the corner. I circle that arm in, turn it, palm on, legs push, arms expand. When you do that, you want your arms and legs to finish at the same time. So if you didn't finish at the same time, it might look like this. See how if I get my legs first and then I don't have anything behind my pressing, my expanding forward. I don't have energy to give to someone. Okay, so let's do it again from the end of rollback. Right palm is out, left palm is up. Circle the arm in, left on right forearm, expand forward, pushing with your legs, and get there. All right. So you might say, well, how do I know how far to push? Don't forget your bubbling well. That when we push forward, back leg pushes, right leg receives. When I get to the bubbling well, I stop. That's that big round part behind the ball, because if I go too far and go farther, my knee is going to come way far here. All right. Okay. Body angle is no different than the other ones we're talking about. When we've talked about right ward off, roll back, and push, press, we have a body lean so that our back and the back leg are at an angle. And we keep that, we have a little fold at the hips. That is the same for press. Where body is not up, we stay in that angle. So we keep our angle there. All right. And then the other aspect of we have to think about our body shape. Let's go ahead and be in our right bow step, back into roll back. Remember that when we talked about roll back, we said you want to have something under your armpits because it's like hugging that tree. You still want that shape. It's going to be the same with press. We bring the arm in, palm on, and I still have that little space. I push with my legs and I come forward. And when I finish, I feel okay, my head's up, my shoulders are down, I've got little space in my armpits, I'm not collapsed, I've got my lean, and I'm in my bow step. All right. Okay, let's stop for a moment and see if there are any questions. Are there any questions? I know some people weren't here last week. For the people who were not here last week, you don't have to unmute, but how are you doing? Linda, you doing okay? Okay. All right. How are people in general doing? How are people feeling today? Good. Okay. We got some thumbs up. All right. I hope you had a good time with the snow. And now we hope we have a good time as it melts, right? Okay. All right. If there are no questions, we're going to go on to our next move, which is a lovely move. All right. This move is called push. All right. And, if I say the word push, that word just conventionally. If someone has a stuck car, what do? You want to push it, right? You really need to get some force and push it. Kids push each other all the time on the playground. We push for a lot of reasons. You need to slam a door shut. You might push it shut. So the concept of pushing is not a novel concept. So let's see what it does in our Tai Chi. When we have done press, we end up in our right bow step. And I have pressed forward so that my arm is in front of me, my elbows aligned. This hand is not higher than my shoulder, and my my palm is on the middle forearm. I'm going to show you the footwork. It's the same as what we've been doing. I push with the front into the back and shift back. Then I push with the back into the front and shift front. That is the footwork. So the footwork is no different than what we've been doing. So we're really going to talk about the upper body, which is going to express the push energy. The legs give us force, but the hands express the push energy. The push, we've talked about Tai Chi hands. We've talked about how they've got a little bit of a curve. Fingers have a little space in between. The tiger's mouth is open. The push hands are very much like what we've talked about for the Tai Chi hands. The part of the hand that gives the energy is this inside circle, this palm, this big palm area. That's what we're using to push. All right. Remember when I showed you the shoe and we talked about the edge of the shoe and the heel and the full heel, and then the full foot? Well, the hand has parts too. We're not using all the parts today, but it does have a heel and it has an edge. But today we're using the palm. That's the circle. Okay. Our push hands look like this. We've got them almost forward. Now I say almost forward because if they were completely straight, this is what they'd look like. Do you see how they're a little different there than there? Okay. So we're pushing with our two palms forward. That's going to be what we're doing with our push hands, connected obviously to our upper body. But there's a lot that we have to think about as we do it. So let me show it to you. I'm going to show it to you from a couple directions. So first I'll do it just forward from my press. Push. That's my push. All right, I'll do it this way. This is from press. Just looking to see which side you're seeing. Okay. Push. This is the 3 o'clock position, in fact, where I would be. All right. So we've got issues to talk about upper body. We've got some wonderful waist issues to talk about, and the movement that we do. So first, let's talk about our torso. When I finish press, and I'm in my right bow stance, my body is open to the corner, almost to the corner, okay? So you'll see that your shoulders are turned. If I tried to do press and my hands were out here, if I were the wrong position, I might be here, that's too much. I might be here, that's wrong. I'm right forward and my torso, my chest is open. I'm just going to show you the chest. For push, the first thing that happens is my torso, by turning my waist, by twisting, it comes square. My hips haven't really changed. That's what we were practicing in the beginning. So again, I'm open and I go square. That means they're coming equal forward here. All right. So for push, we have to make that turn in order to make the rest of our body work. Now, remember, we've talked about how the lower body and the upper body are the middle body and the arms are connected because your torso moves, the arms move, right? Well, that's what's going to happen here. Let's just talk about what happens with our arms. So go get your arms into press that you've expanded. And we don't need to worry about the footwork here. But we do want, I guess we'll need our bow step to see our chest open. So I'm in my bow step and my chest is open to the corner. When I turn my torso, I'm going to extend both arms, rotating the right, and both arms will end up palm down. All right. So again, here's my press. Right now, I can see my palm because that's a ward off. And my left hand, I see the back of my palm. I'm going to turn my torso square, rotate the right arm, palms are down in front, and they are still at shoulder height. Okay, they're still at shoulder height. My fingers are forward, stretching forward. Okay, so this is the case where it is not seated here. It's just stretching out because you're actually connecting with someone. All right. So again, torso to the corner, chest to the corner. Turn square, rotate right arm, both palms down. All right. Okay. So that's the first part of press. And I will tell you, after you've been doing your roll back, your right ward off, all those with turning to the corner, it feels really comfortable and nice, I think, to turn square. It's just a different feeling. All right. So what's going to happen? When we shift back, our arms are going to come back with our body, and they're going to come back and curve as if we have a great big ball here. So I'm going to be on this side to show you here. And I know you can't see all of my feet, but I just want you to see a little bit more of my upper body. So as I come back, watch my arms and hands. My hands come back flat. My elbows are dropping. I'm getting closer. I'm going over a ball, and then I seat them. And when I seat them, they're a little lower than my chest. When I come forward, they're going to come up and out just a little bit so that they end up, still my arms are at shoulder height, my fingers point up a little, and my hands are now seated. All right. So I went from flat, back and down, and forward. All right. If you know what a paisley is, or a teardrop, the shape of a teardrop, that's the shape we're making. We're not just going back and forward. This is kind of angular. This is back and forward, back and forward. We're coming back, going over a curved ball here, seating our hands, and then pushing them up and forward. All right. So you're trying to make a little bit of a curve. Now, if you're brand new and you come back and you just go forward, that might be where you start, but you're thinking circle. You're thinking that teardrop shape. And if you've done this before, that's a nice thing to work on. So again, let's just all together do this. Let's put our arms out. Bring them back. When they get closer, come over the rounded part. See how you start to see my palms? And now push them forward and up. A little bit up, because it's not just back and forth, all right? The real issue here, like the others, is coordinating the upper and the lower body. So let's see how that, first of all, are there any questions just about what I'm talking about with that? Because we'll be practicing that with the lower and upper body. Are there any questions there that people need to ask? All right. Okay. All right. So let's talk about it with the lower body. I've got my right bow stance, and I'm in my press. Let's talk about coordinating upper and lower body here, and then I'll talk to you about some of the hazards or the pitfalls. So here I am, my elbow and knee are aligned. I've got my circled arm. My left palm is on my right forearm. Okay, my torso is open to the corner. I turn my torso square, rotate right arm, my both palms are down. You're still in your bow step. Start your shift back, bring your arms back, get a little closer. When you get back, drop them. Your hands are seated. You're sitting back now in your shifted back. Now push with the back leg into the front and bring your arms up and forward. And you're still square. You're not turning your torso. This is a move that you're pushing forward. All right. Let's practice that together. All right. The direction we would be in is to 3 o'clock. So I'm going to do it a little bit from 3 o'clock. So if you want to see that side position, you can. So I'm in press here. I've got my angle. Push. Turn torso square to 3 o'clock. Open. Palms are down. Shift back, bring arms back, palms back, sink them in front of the chest. Push with the back leg into the front. And when you finish, you have got your lean. Okay? Let's do it again, and I'll do it from the front. I'm in press. In press. Push. Turn square, open palms down. Shift back, bringing the hands back, get close, come over the ball, seat your wrists. Now push with the back leg into the front and come forward. And you've pushed someone here. You've got your push hands coming forward. All right. Now, let me tell you some issues that arise with this to see what you can learn at this point. If you're brand new, you're just taking it in, see what you can do. If you've been doing this before, really watch out for these hazards. When I come back, so I'm here and I'm in my press. When I come back, my goal is to stay at the same level. I'm going to think about this lower part of my back moving straight back. So I come back. And when I come forward, I'm still at my level. If I go up and down, that is not what I'm trying to do, but it's easy to do. So this is what it looks like if you go up and down. I go here, I come back, maybe I go way down, and then I come up. Not what I'm trying to do. You might think you want to do that, but that's not it. It's not coming and sinking. It's shifting back and then pushing forward without that up and down. So that's one thing to watch out for. Another thing is just standing up. It's easy to maybe want to stand up. So if I stand up, this is what it looks like. I turn square and I come back. And see how I raised my torso? I went straight, but I don't want to. I want to keep my lean, the little fold at my hips. I want to keep that, and keep that lean. Keep it. All right. And now the last hazard, which I've seen a lot, and it's very destabilizing if you end up doing this, would be leaning back. So if I turn, I come back and I lean back. Oh my gosh. Do you see how somebody's just going to knock me right over and I push forward? So I don't want to lean. I'd prefer not to stand up. I want to keep that bend. That's why this move takes some practice. It might seem like this is a pretty easy move, but it takes some practice because you're keeping your body angle there. You're keeping your, okay? All right, how about we practice it a little bit? You examine yourself and see what you're doing. We'll do it together, and then I'm going to take a peek. So, and again, that's really for me to know how I might be able to help you. So let's go ahead and right foot forward, and you're in press. You're in press. All right. Torso is open. Push. Turn square. Now, when you come back, see if you can keep your lean. Go over your ball. Back leg pushes, push forward. All right, relax, and we'll do it again. Press. Turn square for push. Come back, palms flat. Get closer, go over the ball. Seat your palms. Push forward with the back leg into the front. Yeah, okay, very good. If you are pushing with your legs, you're getting some energy. So let me see if there are any questions, and then I could show you the application if my partner is available. So any questions? Oh, I'm seeing some good push hands. Great. Yes, Maria, did you have a question? You are muted, Maria. Maria, you are muted. You can push the space bar or you can unmute yourself.
Oh, I have a tendency to raise my shoulders, and I don't know how important that is, but
oh well, we remember, shoulders down is what we're aiming for. So we can't say it's not important, but it's easy for that to happen. So what Maria, let me tell you what Maria is saying. She is saying, my guess, Maria, is that it's happening here. Is it happening here?
Right.
Yeah. So Maria's saying she feels her shoulders rising. And so again, we think of our body shape. I've got my head up, but I'm just going to maybe go right here for a minute and relax. Bring those shoulders down. I'm going to think shoulders. I'm going to turn and check myself right here. Are my shoulders down? All right, they're down. I'm going to come back. Think lower back leads the way. Arms back and forward. So Maria, I would recommend that when you practice, you pause at those intervals and check your shoulders, then put it back together again. So a word about when we're learning these things, we break them up so that we can pay attention to the body parts. Then we try to put it back together so it's smooth, right? But if you find yourself hunching up, just pause for, bring them down, and then go on. And you'll train yourself maybe to break that habit, because that's easy. The other thing that can happen with this, let me show you this. This goes along with shoulders down. You know, in Tai Chi, our body shape, we have our shoulders down and our elbows drooping, but we have to watch to keep our chest absorbed so we have a tree and we don't do this, right? We don't want to open up. Well, watch what could happen if I come back and I come way back with my elbows. Do you see where my elbows are going there? Let me stand in front of something white. See where my elbows are going? They're going way behind me. I don't want them to go behind me, because if they go behind me, I open up right here. And I lose my shape. I lose my shape. So let's see. We'll go through. You can't pay attention maybe to everything at once, but let's pay attention to our elbows. Keep them not past the side. All right. So right foot forward. We're in press. Push. Turn square. Shift back. Now your elbows are drooping. Now when you're here, just check, are they at your side or are they back? If they're back, just bring them forward and then push with the legs forward. All right. So obviously there are different parts of your body that you can pay attention to. And as you get more experienced, you'll think of more than one body part at a time. All right. Alan, are you free? Okay, my partner's going to come. We'll show you push. It might be what you would expect because you're pushing, but we'll show it to you anyway. In the meantime, are there any other questions as he comes in? This one seemed a little easier maybe because you're pushing. It's a common movement that you might have. Okay. All right. Okay. So in press, we talked about you're close to someone and you just want to expand, you want to get some distance. In this move, you're getting someone away from you. You're giving them a lot of force to get them away. And so I'm going to imagine that someone is coming at me to push at me. So just to show you that what Alan's going to do is he's going to push with two hands towards me. I'm going to be like this because this is my stance, and he's coming towards me with two hands. So come towards me. I'm going to connect. This is my ward off. Then I'm going to push. Oh, I'm supposed to grab him. Okay, let's do it again. I'm going to come. So he comes towards me. I connect. I'm back. I push, and I push him forward. Now I'm losing my root there because I'm grabbing after him. But if I were really doing something with him, I wouldn't care about grabbing him. I'd be sending him off, right? So come back one more time. I'll see if I can keep my root here without losing you. All right, come a little bit here. Okay, so he's coming forward towards me with two hands. I come up, I connect. I'm going to push. All right, there. Okay, so I continue because I'm grabbing after him. I continue. If I let him go, I would keep my root, but that's push. Thank you, Ellen. Thank you. He's done double duty today because he had to help dress me, had to get my armbands on. Okay, any questions? I wanted to tell you something just about as we talk about these applications. When you watch Master Young, say on his videos or he's teaching, and he'll want to talk about the applications, he'll say, what's the meaning behind this move? That's what we're searching for. What are we trying to understand about the meaning of it? And what he will say is, how do you imagine your opponent? And that's an important phrase. We are imagining what this would be like. It is not set in stone because I didn't try to do it because I'm not sure I could do it very well, but you could do this in a free fight. Someone punches at you and you grab them and push them out. There's all different ways to do it because you're imagining different things that can happen with your opponent. When we do the form, that is standardized. That is a series of moves that have been standardized. In fact, the form we do today was standardized by Master Yang Chengfu, who is the great-grandfather of Master Yang. And so it's been quite a while that we've used this standard form, obviously we being collective, since none of us go back that far. But it's a standard form. So when I teach it to you, I say, this is how we do it in the Yang style. We keep our arms here, we do it this. When you see an application, it is not meant to look exactly like the move in the form necessarily because it's in relationship to an opponent. And so you might watch something and you say, well, in the form, we actually hold our hand like this, but it's a little bit different, but that's because it's an application. We're trying to understand the meaning and the energy in the application. So sometimes that's a little confusing for people when they think it looks a little different than the form. All right. Okay, any questions before we go on? We have a little bit of time left here. Any questions? All right, well, we're going to do all of Grasp the Bird's Tail. Are you ready? Do all of Grasp the Bird's Tail? Good. All right. So what we're going to do, I'll tell you what, let's do opening. And then when we come to the bottom of opening, that's where Grasp the Bird's Tail starts. But we'll do opening so you can see the whole thing of what we're doing. And we're going to do it in the correct direction. So my back will start towards you, but then I'll be turning to my 3 o'clock position. All right. Okay. So first, get in prepare. Remember your body shape, head up, shoulders down, hands at your side. Little bend in your knees, just a little bit, because your body is upright. You're looking forward. opening. Rotate your arms and lift them up. Your palms are facing down. Get to shoulder height. Press down, elbows first, forearms, fingers end up lifted, seated hands. From here, grasp the bird's tail. Left, ward off. Shift left, open your body. Move, bend, circle right. Point left, circle, close, step. Move to bubbling well. Front leg, left arm up to 3 o'clock, body turned. Right ward off. Turn, come across. Grab as you go to the other direction. Arms are open. Close, step, move forward. Ward off right, lifting up. Roll back. Remember your torso from the middle. Turn, rotate to the corner. As you shift back, come across with your arms to the corner. Press. Circle the right arm in, left forearm on, left palm on forearm. Now push with the legs as you expand forward. Push. Open your torso to 3 o'clock. Open your arms to shoulder width. Shift back, palms down. Get close. Go over the ball. Drop your palms. Seat your hands. Push with the legs and push up forward into your bow step. All right. We're going to do grasp the bird's tail one more time together from the end of opening where your hands are down, fingers are forward. All right. So you're still standing with your feet shoulder width, but your arms are in front of you, fingers forward. You're looking forward. Left, ward off. Shift a little left, open 45 degrees. Move weight to the right, bend both legs, circle upright, point left. Close your arms as you step out with the heel. Move forward to the bubbling well. Turn, lift left, push right. Right ward off. Turn 45 degrees, come across. Shift left, rotate, arms are open. Put your foot in, close, step out with the heel. Move forward. Lift your right arm to ward off. Left arm fingertips pointing to mid forearm. Roll back. Turn, rotate. Now, as you shift back, come across. Press. Circle in, palm on forearm. Push with your legs, expand with your arms. Push. Open your torso, square to 3 o'clock. Arms are separated to shoulder width. Shift back, come back with your arms. Come over the ball. Push with your legs. Push up and forward. All right, that's grasp the bird's tail. So let's just check in with people. It's pretty exciting when you've started the class and the first really comprehensive thing you do is grasp the bird's tail. So it's exciting for me to have you doing it. Any questions? How are people feeling? Let's see some reactions. Okay, that's okay.
Good.
That's fair enough. That's fair enough. Greg, do you have a question?
No, I was just saying that was good.
Oh, good,
It's getting easier and clearer.
Good, good. Well, it will for sure. And I cannot tell you how familiar you're going to get with grasp the bird's tail if you stay in Tai Chi. We always return to it. To me, it's like always coming home when we come to it. And so if you're new, this is a lot of new material, but it will become more and more familiar. You know how when you watch TV and they always say next week on, and they tell you what's going to happen? Well, I always stay and watch that part. So next week on Tai Chi in section 1, we're going to stick for a little bit with grasp the bird's tail and practice it. Really practice it. Check. We're going to do some different activities where we check where our body is, and then we're going to practice it more smoothly. Maybe me saying a little bit less for you to see what you can retain. And we'll practice that. Then we're also going to bring in some footwork that we're going to practice moving a little bit more to get us ready for what will come next. So we'll have some material that will move us forward with what we're doing with our body, but we'll have lots of opportunity to do grasp the bird's tail. And I would encourage you this week to see what part of it you feel is working for you, what part of it you might need help with. Just to remind you, footwork always is a place you can go. If you're not sure what you're doing, just go to your footwork, check your body shape. think about your shoulders. You can pay attention to that. If the arm movements are really confusing, it's okay. That will come, but keep your body shape and your footwork. Okay. Any final questions before we close our class? Oh, I see people still flowing and moving. That's always lovely. All right, good. All right, we'll close our class with our salute. Feet together. Thank you, everybody. Thank you for joining me for Grasp the Bird's Tail. Have a wonderful week. And tomorrow at 11, Rita will be practicing with you, okay?
Thank
And if there's something you need to let me know, feel free to email me, right? Okay. Have a
Thank
great
you.
evening and good luck with your snow.
Thanks,
Thank
Judy.
you.
Sure.
Yeah, thanks, Judy. Thanks, Judy.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thanks, Judy.
Sure.